Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Cyberpunk Edgerunners episode number 8 reaction. Alright, the previous episode we get a little bit of a time skip, you could say, like after the whole thing that happened with mine and like all that stuff happened. David has actually become kind of the leader of the Edgerunners, and he has like augmented himself a lot. There's like he's like fully chromed up. He has like put on some like big muscles and stuff. Obviously those are like cyberware, and yeah, he's like very completely different. And we can see they are trying to take rookies in. However, the rookies are like rookies there. Most of them die by the end of it. And obviously Rebecca's there, QE is there, and I think Falco, that's his name, the guy who we saw, he's also there. Lucy's not here. Lucy is not actually doing like helping out because she still has her whole trauma like going on. So yeah, that's what's happening. And David has actually made a name for himself, like an actual name. And later on we see Faraday contacting him, talking about like a new potential job with the Militech. And later on we see Lucy, like Lucy and David has moved in together. And later on they kind of go out a little bit, and Lucy kind of shares her past and talks about how she was like a child who was like not only her, but there were a few other children who were taken in by the Arasaka, shown like really like beautiful dreams, saying like, oh, you can become a netrunner, you'll have a lot of money. Unfortunately they just exploited them, used them, and kind of made them go into the deep net. And like for some kind of a reason, which we still don't know. Arasaka's like some kind of a hidden agenda. Either way, she tells that story to David, and in the end we see like someone was trying to remote hack her, I think, but she kind of flipped that back towards that guy and like killed him or something. He is like hired by Arasaka. So I'm not exactly sure what happened in the end. Let's see, this episode will probably explain it to us properly. Anyways, let us begin episode number 8. So yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles in the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What's happening? What's Whose picture is that? Son. Okay, what's happening here? What is this? Who is this lady? Whoa, what? Wait, when did David come in? Oh my god. Oh, this is another job. Yeah, what happened? Suddenly like broke down? Oh, what was that? Okay. Like maybe it's like some kind of side effect from using so many cyberware. Like he's saying that, oh, I'm fine, nothing's happening, I'm special. But Is that really true? Is really nothing happening to him using so many cyberware at the same time? And the Sandy is like the biggest one. That's probably taking out a lot from him. And alongside the Sandy, he has so many other cyberware nowadays. I guess they were kind of like, like you saw the lady was like, oh, my son has joined the academy, and David comes and like kills her by the end, and we see like a little photograph of that lady and her kid. I'm guessing this is like showing how like like David has become the person, like the same type of person who took away his like his mom also died like that, in a drive by. So he's doing the same thing now to some other kid, orphaning them basically. Kind of like that. I don't know. Anyways. Oh boy, here we go. Jamie and Marcus. Not the same runner. Oh yeah, see the merge. Who is this? Hmm. Damn. Oh god, they're going to. Yeah, they'll try to attack them, obviously. Damn! Yep, so they basically hired the gangs to take care of this. Okay. Damn. Oh, he has the augmented guns. Damn. The Miltech. Oh. Damn, the Miltech is actually cyber skeleton. Great. Hmm. Someone's calling. Alright, so a lot of things that are happening in the background. Oh boy, David is. Yeah, his hand. Damn. Undercover consul. Oh, so they're like trying to get him in on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no, I knew this was going to happen. Great. Oh no. Ah, freaking hell. Oh, he's not. Okay. No, 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 sorry, sorry. Okay, he's not really telling him. Oh. Oh boy. Oh, good lord. Mm. Yeah. Great. Oh boy. Damn, Rebecca. Oh, grenade. Ooh, damn. Who the hell? Oh no. Uh. All right, Rebecca, calm down. Yeah. Great. Why did Faraday come to Kiwi? Like, obviously, she was like one of the net runners. Like, Yeah. Like he's past, not past, I would say, but everything. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's messing with him, the implants. Oh, again, what is this happen? What is this thing that's happening? Are they like trying to hack her or something? Yeah, I think so. They're trying to hack her. No, what? Oh my god. Yeah. Oh boy. He's again zoning out, isn't he? Yeah. Damn. Oh god. No. Oh god. It's messing with him. Ugh. Why is no one here with him? Where's Rebecca? Oh god. This is just like mine. Oh god. Yeah, the picture. Oh, yeah, he needs to stop with the implants. Is he really here, or is this again another hallucination? Oh no, he is really here. Mm. Yeah. Oh god. Oh. Yeah. Hmm. That was only one. Oh, he has like 5 to 10 of them. Something I have to do. Oh god, he's been hacked again. What she's trying to do is she's trying to take care of the problem, like the Sakas. They're trying to get her, and unless and until she takes them out, she doesn't want to divulge this to David. Oh no, I feel like there's a trap here. Oh no, what the? Wait, what the? There was another one. Yep, it's Faraday. Wait, what? Okay, I was not expecting that. What the hell? I was thinking, why did Faraday come to QE and oh no. Oh my god. Oh, oh God. All right, that's the end. Yeah. Okay. So, damn, this episode. All right. So here in this episode, David starts losing, like control of himself little by little, cyber psychosis, and yeah, the whole thing with Arasaka and Lucy getting hacked by the end. All right. In the beginning, we see a little scene of this lady asking for a little time off, and one of the Asaka employees, as I could gather from the logo, and it looks like she, her daughter, not daughter, sorry, her son is, going into the academy, and she's like asking for, to go back, and when she went outside to bring back some stuff for the guy, and when she comes back, she says he's already dead, and David has, freezed up. Now, obviously, the way this should have gone was like David was probably supposed to come in when the lady goes, and he was supposed to come in, do the job, and get out. However, he freezed up. The cyber psychosis, or that process, it probably delayed him, and he froze up over there, delaying the time where he should have already gotten out. And so basically during that time, the lady comes back and sees this. Obviously you cannot leave a witness behind, so David also killed her and had to go away. So otherwise this would have gone smoothly. The lady would have probably come in and seen the guy dead, probably would have nothing would have happened to her at least. But because of David's freezing, that happened and David had to kill her. Obviously this being something that started affecting him even more down the line, where he started having regrets because he saw the picture and he realized that I'm basically doing the same thing. What happened to my mother, I did that the same thing to someone else. I orphaned another kid just like me, you know. And the pain that I should have known the most of losing my mother, I did that to someone else, and just because of my own incompetency, basically, because yeah, he was the one who froze down over there. If he hadn't, he would have easily been able to go away and the lady would have been alive. Either way, he comes back, and Kiwi's asking him. Kiwi's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why were you why did you freeze? And Rebecca's also there, and they're having that conversation, and they went back while in that moment, some Arasaka employees, they are trying to figure out what's going on. So the scene that we saw in the previous episode where someone was trying to hack Lucy, we get a little explanation of that. So basically, since that guy died, and the whole thing with Tanaka, they realized that there's two people who did that, you know oh no, not sorry, not Tanaka, sorry. Since that guy died who was trying to hack Lucy, while this time the Arasaka employee that died very recently, David killed him, that incident, these two are happening, the people who have done that are different, because the one that David killed was someone who he just completely blasted his head off, while Lucy's one was someone who he fried his circuits and probably killed him like that. So they see that there's two people doing it, and they're kind of thinking whether what whether this is happening Like, is it like one organization, or is it like two people doing it? Or maybe it'll kind of merge, and by the end of it, we'll realize that it's the same people doing the thing. So that's something that they're thinking about, and they start talking about the fixers, and they're like, instead of going for the killer, let's go for the fixer this time. And like, then they bring out a number of fixers, like, like things, and obviously Faraday is there as well. So they decide to go and contact the fixers. So the first thing that they do is they go and probably we see only the Faraday situation. Like, Faraday was going on in the car, and a few people come in, like, the gang members, and the way they do, they were hired by the Arasaka. So they try to attack him, and Faraday's bodyguards try to protect him. However, they die, but Faraday is fine because he wasn't supposed to be killed. They were just trying to intimidate him a little bit. So while this was happening, I'm pretty sure they sent more, like gangs to other fixers as well, like this. And because it was not only, like, they didn't have their mindset on only Faraday. There was a few other people, in the fixer, like, that we saw on the screen. A lot of other fixers, other than Faraday was also there. So I'm pretty sure they sent goons over there as well. However, what we saw was only Faraday's section, and we later see Faraday go to the Militech and asking for, like, a little bit of backup. Because, like, he's working for the Militech, and this is happening, like, like Arasaka's like the opponent from Militech, like the rival. So here we can see the Militech is like, oh no, we cannot do anything. Like, your whole thing with Tanaka was like a whole flop. You weren't able to compensate us for that. So don't expect any type of eddies before you sort this situation out yourself. So obviously this type of situation, Faraday wasn't able to get any help from Militech. So what does he do? Obviously he jumped ship. Because obviously Faraday is not like loyal to Militech. Like, he's just a middleman. He's a fixer. So in this type of situation, obviously, if you get a better option, obviously you're going to jump ship. And this is what he does later on, because later on, Arasaka contacts him, and he starts working for Arasaka now, kind of, But either way, while all of that was happening, we see a scene where David is again zoning out, looking at the television, just zoning out. Lucy is concerned. Lucy's like, what's going on? And but he's like, it's fine, no problem. And here they kind of see like an advertisement, like, oh, going to the moon, 250K only, one-way trip. And David's like, damn, it's quite cheap for going to the moon, isn't it? And you can see that Lucy is happy. Lucy's like, oh, you remember. So yeah, so while that happens, next we see Faraday has been contacted by Arasaka. Obviously, now here, at first it kind of seemed that he really wasn't really like spilling the beans at the beginning, when like when the guy from Arasaka, he was like, oh, like like the whole thing with Tanaka. Okay, where's that part? Where's the section? We'll gladly provide compensation. Okay, as for the Tanaka mess, consider your debt settled. I will need to add a few conditions. Go on. We must eliminate any and all persons aware of the cyberskeleton's existence. He says, okay. Another thing, obviously, now the cyberskeleton, that thing, I don't think David even knows that. Like, that's like a secret that only Faraday knows. So that's not a problem. He says that a meddlesome netrunner, since Tanaka's death, they have been interfering with our data recovery efforts regarding the cyberskeleton. Do you have any information on who it may be? Now he says, like, afraid not, unfortunate. Now I'm pretty sure he could have said something like, oh, I don't exactly know who it is, but I might have a clue. He could have easily said that at that moment, but I guess he was keeping his cards close to himself, because later on he gets a good offer. Because if he, like, I guess, like, that's a businessman. Like, if you have like information to you, you shouldn't just give it out just because you have it. You should keep your cards close to yourself. So at first he's like, oh, I don't know anything about that. Even though he might have, obviously he has, I'm definitely, like, he definitely has a clue. He's working with the Edgerunners. So the whole situation, the whole thing with Tanaka was, he was he hired the Edgerunners for it. So I'm pretty sure he could have easily said here like, oh, like, I'm not exactly sure, but I might have a clue. But he didn't say that. He directly said that I have no clue. And then the other guys like, we find this case especially curious. Even if Militech were behind it, we cannot conceive of a reasonable motive. And Faraday says, from what my sources say me, not a single soul knows of Tanaka's tie to the Cyber Skeleton project. Yeah, obviously, because yeah, even though the Edgerunners were working on the thing, they didn't know what they were like, trying to get. Faraday told that give me the data. However, Lucy wasn't able to find the data. So technically, I guess they don't know about the Cyber Skeleton project. Okay, so he says an inside job, and he says like impossible. No one in the Arasaka subnet moves internally without leaving breadcrumbs. No, our theory points towards those skills are bounties, most likely not corporate, an edge runner. A perfect job for a fixer, wouldn't you agree? Is this an official contract? A cool million for bringing in their runner alive? Half of them for just their head. And there you go. As soon as he gets the offer, he's like, let me, like, I have the deal. We have the deal. And so, yeah, there you go. So, obviously, like, problem begins here. Now, later on, we see Lucy talking to Huey about the whole situation, asking about how David is doing and all that stuff. Huey also says, like, David is waiting for you. He's kind of, like, acting a little weird, but he's also waiting for you to join back. And Huey says, like, won't you join us? And Lucy's like, yeah, I am going to join you, but not now, not the time. Because we can see like she is trying to eliminate those guys who are the Arasaka guys who are trying to mess with her. So I'm pretty sure she, unless and until she takes care of that job, she doesn't plan to get in and get in the Edgerunners, because she feels like they are going to get involved in it. And it makes sense, because this is the thing. We've seen how Lucy like completely is extremely, what can I say, like frightened about the Arasaka members, and makes sense. She herself has been exploited by them, and like she was like their prisoner, and she was able to run away from them, like after like the sacrifice of so many of her the other members, like all of her friends, they all died. She was the only one who survived, ran away from it. So there is a trauma that she has against the Arasaka members. So we've seen this before as well. Whenever there's something Arasaka related, she freaks out, and she like completely gets frozen, and she's just very afraid of it. So in no way does she want to involve any of her friends or David into a situation where the Arasaka members are involved. And that is why, since the Arasaka members are trying to get to her, trying to hack her, she doesn't want to involve the Edgerunners in this mess. And that's why she's like, oh, I'm not going to join the Edgerunners now. I have something to do. That something is taking care of the Arasaka, like the Arasaka hackers. So unless and until she is confirmed that there's no more Arasaka members trying to get to me, she's not going to come back to the Edgerunners, because she fears David and the others getting involved in her mess. And the whole trauma with the Arasaka is not helping, So that is why. Now, suddenly, like someone knocks at, like the door. Where's that part where Huey is? Just a minute. Yeah. The bell rings, and Huey comes out and sees Faraday. Now, this part, I was curious. At first, I was like, why did suddenly Faraday come? And then we suddenly see Huey acting normal. I was kind of weirded out. I was like, what happened? Faraday came in, like what did he tell her, or why did he come there for? But then it kind of slipped my mind. I kind of forgot about the fact while watching the rest of the episode. It didn't really I kind of forgot about that. And then in the end, we realized why Faraday was there. All right. So then we go to the next scene where we see David and Rebecca fighting, probably another job. And suddenly we see David kind of freezing up in front of one of the members, one of the gang members. And thankfully Rebecca was there. Rebecca shot that person, and help David out. And yeah, so while they're going back, David is like, oh, get me off of here. And she comes down. He's not going to go to the after party. Rebecca also goes down, and later on, Kiwi also leaves. So Rebecca catches up to David and asks him like, what's up? You suddenly just froze up, and so David tries to kind of just not really address that, while Rebecca tries to kind of get it out of him, and says that I need to know, it's not that it's not none of my business. I'm putting my hands on your life, life on your hands as well. So I need the information. I need to know what's going on with you. So what's up? And David is like, oh no, nothing. And then Rebecca obviously realizes what's going on, and the first thing she says is like, David, get off the cyberware implants, like reduce it. And she talks about how she doesn't want to see someone ending up like her brother again, or ending up like the cyber psycho who killed his brother. And she doesn't want to see David like that, and that's why she's like, she's like, please go light on the chrome. Yeah, remember the ally psycho that zeroed my bro? Of course. I can't see you end up like him. Yeah, like he says like, I can't let you see you end up like him. She doesn't really mention who she's talking about. Is she talking about her brother or the cyber psycho? In this case, it's both. She doesn't want him to die like his brother, or he doesn't, and he doesn't want him to end up like the cyber psycho. So that's the thing. And David's like, yeah, and David always has this whole thing of like, oh, it's fine, I've been okay up until now, I'm special. But now we can see that no, he is also, yeah, he's definitely special. He has a bigger tolerance, but it's not that he's completely immune to the cyberpsychosis. And we can see symptoms now. And the fact that she's feeling guilty about the lady who he killed is also another thing. Either way, later on we see Lucy again trying to kind of like someone's trying to hack Lucy, and Lucy's like keeping an eye on the whole situation and trying to keep the Arasaka members off of her, all the hackers, while David is just zoning out again. And then we get the scene, where David kills that guy, and that lady comes, and I'm guessing we get the replay of that scene. That was that scene, wasn't it? The scene that we saw in the beginning. Did you see again? Yeah. Or was it the... Yeah. That was that scene. Exactly. So, obviously, he goes there, like, shoots the guy, and obviously his cyber psychosis is happening, and he sees, like, the guy who he shot, he sees that, like, guns are coming out of him, tries to shoot him again. Kiwi is from the other side, is like constantly trying to tell him like what's going on, like why are you jamming up, like is everything okay, David? While David is just doing his thing, and then Kiwi's like, oh, someone's coming, David, quickly get out of there. And then the lady comes in and he shoots the lady as well, and then he realizes what he did, and like sees the picture, and that is where the guilt starts getting to him, because like I said, it's the same thing, he was the victim of this thing that he did now. His mother died. He was the victim of that, and now he's the person who's doing that to someone else. And after realizing that, the guilt, he cannot take it anymore. And like it's a very bad combination. The guilt and the cyber psychosis all at the same time, kind of affecting him. Like he just breaks down and he falls. Like in his home, he falls down, and Lucy probably dragged him to the doctor, and we can see here at the doctor's place, like he's again like hallucinating. The doctor is like oh, like what's happening, like you're going off the deep end, like like you thought that you were special, but you're not, like like let go of this cyberware implants, ease on the cyberware, like I cannot give you more medication. Like obviously he was in his own way trying to help him. But like I said, David is going full crazy here. So David grabs him and threatens the doctor to give him more. Lucy realizes what's happening. When Lucy is like, "What's happening, David?" David kind of snaps out of it, and the doctor is like, "Fine, take it," and gives him like the final extreme, the highest dose. And he says like, "This is the final dose I can give you," because he says like, obviously, what he's implying here is that you take this, and if this is also not able to keep you calm, you're dead anyway, because this is the highest dose. So either way, you won't be coming back here. That type of thing. So he's like, "Yep, this is the final time I operate on you, David. This is the final time you come here. So take it. This is the final dose. Whatever happens, you're not coming back." So, yeah. And in the end, we can see that in the end, he kind of says, like just yesterday, a punk kid with pushing XBDs for a quick buck. Go on, become that legend. Now, this thing, we've seen this, in the game, the whole thing with becoming a legend. Like I said, I think in the game it was Jackie who said this, that in Night City, it doesn't matter how you live your life, it matters how you die, and that is going to make you a legend. So go out with a bang, you become a legend in Night City, just like Johnny Silverhand and many others. So that is the thing. So this is the thing about Cyberpunk, where there's this whole thing about becoming a legend. And as far as I know, I've not completed the game. In the game, there are like multiple endings. There's one ending, as far as I know, where you can kind of have like a happy ending or a good ending, you could say, where by the end, whichever character you are together with, be it what was her name? I forgot her name. Judy? Was that her name? I forgot her name. Yeah, Panam, Carrie, River, all these characters who you can, romance in the game. Whoever character you are with, by the end, you can stay with them and, have like a good relationship with them. And if you don't take the route of becoming a legend, you'll have a fairly good ending. As far as I know, there's like a few endings. There's one ending where you join the nomads, the Aldecados, and go together with them, which is, I think, that is considered a good ending. There's also another ending where you become a legend. You become like Johnny Silverhand, go off with a blast. Obviously, by the end, you will die, but you become a legend, that type of thing. So I guess that is considered as a bad ending if you think about it, but also, you are becoming a legend. So if you think about it in that way, I guess that's not a bad ending, if that's what you want. But yeah, this is the thing. What I'm trying to say here, this is the thing about Cyberpunk, where they kind of focus on the whole thing of becoming legend. And the way you can only become a legend is if you die with a bang. So obviously, that's why in the end, the doctor tells him that, go on, become that legend. Obviously, the way David is going, in the end, he'll go out with a bang. And that's going to make him a legend. But obviously, that would mean he's going to leave all his friends, Lucy, everyone behind here. Just, that's what's going to happen. So yeah, but either way, we see, obviously, the doctor in the end was kind of sad, you could say. And in the end, he says, another turn for the next dreamer. And yeah, but either way, you can see that Lucy's pretty confused here. Lucy's like, what's going on? What's happening? Because Lucy doesn't know. David is kind of hiding this from everyone. What's going on with him? So she asks him, and David is like, don't tell this to any one of the crew. But Lucy's concerned. Lucy's like, what's going on? Tries to grab him. He just slaps her hand away. But Lucy just goes and stops in front of him. And she's like David, I can understand what's happening. She says, you have to slow down now. Stop with the implants and lower the meds. But David is like, no, I cannot do that. Why? Because David says, because mine and my mom both had plans for me, left me things to do, stuff I ain't done yet. And you can see, I think Lucy said this before as well in the previous episode, where she said that, oh, you're not living life for your own, you're living life for someone else, which is at this point, it's mine's life. And I remember there being a conversation, at the very beginning part of this episode, like the show. It was episode 3 or something like that, I think, where they had a similar conversation when David asked Lucy that, what do you think? Like my mom wants me to go in this path, and that's her dream, and I want to fulfill it. While Lucy said, like, oh, but that's not your dream. What do you want to do? That's not how you live your life. If you try to fulfill someone else's dream, you won't be happy by yourself. And he's still doing the same thing. He's still trying to like fulfill his mom's dream, mine's dream as well. Now it has it's like a burden to him, and that's what he's doing. He's living the life of someone else, trying to make the people happy who are not even there anymore. He's bound to his past, and like that's his focus, and that is why he's like so much doing the cyber, like so much. He has so much implants and everything, and like that's what he's going on. And if you think about it, it's kind of a very sad way of living your life, because you can see obviously he's not living the life for himself, nor is he living the life for the people who are alive. Lucy doesn't want him to live like this. That is Lucy's way of looking at the world, and Lucy is still alive. While he's still chasing his past, chasing, like the people who are not there anymore. What they wanted him to do, he's trying to do. Obviously, yeah, mine left him with something, his mom left him with something. That's all well and good. But destroying your own life to fulfill their wishes, obviously, if his mom was alive now, or if mine was alive now, and if they saw him destroying himself for something that they have said before they died, they wouldn't be happy. They will never be happy with that. Neither his mom will be happy and say that, oh David, you're doing so good. Obviously she won't say that if she was alive now and if she saw what David is doing. Neither would mine be. So that is what is sad about this. The people who are alive, Lucy and everyone else, they're telling David to not do it, and he's not listening just because he has something to do. Like mine has given him this mission or whatever, and that's why he is doing so much cyberware and doing these things. But the people who are alive, he's not listening to them. He's not even listening to himself. He's not even living for himself or the people who are alive. He's living his life for the people who are dead. That type of thing. And that's why it's so sad if you think about it. And this is a very bad way to go, because this is what's going to happen. Obviously the people who are alive now are telling him not to do these things, and he's not listening to them. Obviously I don't know how, I'm not exactly sure how this anime ends. I've heard that it's a very sad ending, but if some way or the other another person, for example like Lucy or maybe someone else, or who else is here, the only other person I can see being sad for David is Rebecca. I'm not sure about Huey though, because the ending scene kind of is making me doubt myself about the whole how I looked at Huey. Now I'm kind of doubting myself, she technically betrayed Lucy. So I'm not including Lucy, Huey here. So be it Lucy or Rebecca, if one of them dies, David will have regrets of not doing whatever they said, and it's going to become a cycle. Up until now it was only his mom and mine. Now it would be anyone, either Lucy or Rebecca. If either of them dies, it will be them who will become a burden to him, and he'll try to do what they told him to do and live the life for them, but they're not alive anymore. And I feel like that's the problem with David. He tries to do the things for the people who are dead, but he doesn't look at the people who are alive beside him. He tries to live the life for the people who are dead. He doesn't try to live the life for himself or the people who are alive. If one of the people who is alive dies, that person is going to get included in one of his burdens, and he's going to try to do what they told him to do. But up until now, when they were alive, he wasn't listening to them. That's such a what can I say, such a sad thing if you think about it. That word, you don't realize someone's worth unless and until they're not there anymore, that type of thing. And he's like, this is bad. This is going in a very bad direction. Either way, okay, so here Lucy also tells him that, oh, like you're breaking down. What's going on? And David says like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I've hired, like I'm special. But Lucy says like, no, you're not special. You're a person. You're a human being. Yeah, you might have bigger tolerance, higher tolerance than other people. That's why you maybe were able to use Sandy so many times. You're able to use so many cyberpunks at the same time without croaking. But it's just that you have higher tolerance. It doesn't mean you're special. You're not immune to it. You're being affected. You're being like, your cyber psychosis is getting to you. Now here David also talks about the lady who he killed, and he says like that person was a normal bystander. I killed him, and he says like I ain't normal anymore. Like, I'm not like you, Lucy. But Lucy's like, no, like we're the same. But David again says like, no, you're not. And David then says like, I don't want you to get into this mess that I am in. I want to live your life normally, Lucy. But then when Lucy like again says like, no, David is like, then come join me again. Why are you not joining us? Like you stopped you stopped the jobs. You're not in the Edgerunners anymore. If you think you're if you think you're the same as me, then come and stand with me in the same place. And this is another thing that is kind of going in the wrong direction. Is Lucy is not really talking about her problems. Like we can understand that Lucy is trying to take care of the Arasakas, and Lucy definitely knows that if she confides in David about the Arasaka people, the Saka Saka's trying to get her, David will probably try to help, and that's what she doesn't want. She doesn't want David to get involved with the Arasakas because she's so traumatized of them. She doesn't want the same thing happening to David. And that's why she's trying to protect him. She's keeping secrets from him, and that's why when David is like, why aren't you joining us? And she's like, oh, I have something to do. And he's like, what do you have to do? Tell me. Don't you trust me? And she's like, no, that's not the thing. I'm going to come back, but a little more time. While obviously David is not happy about their secrecy, and he's like, then this is not working out then. But then suddenly Lucy gets like someone's trying to hack her again, and she realizes that, and she's like, I'll talk to you later when I go back home. Like for now I have something to do, and she rushes out trying to get that person. And something happens. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. Was that like a dummy or something? There was like someone on the chair. Lucy, getting her monowire, tries to go and kill him because he was trying to hack her. But then she realizes that wasn't a person. It was like a dummy or something. It was. I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but Huey tricked her. So her cyberware kind of goes off. She falls down, like short circuited probably. And Faraday, like this part, I was expecting Faraday to come here. I was like, all right, Faraday's here. Suddenly Kiwi comes in, and I'm like, oh my god, it makes sense now. Now this part, I'm not so sure about Kiwi though. Like obviously this is Night City. You shouldn't really expect anyone to anyone to be your ally here. Everyone is your enemy, and anyone can betray you at the drop of a hat. So like I cannot really blame QE for this because this is Night City. That's basically why. Night City is this, like anyone can backstab you, be it your closest friend or someone. So since this is Night City, this is expected. And but I still don't I'm not exactly sure, did really QE do this all for the money or something? I'm not even sure what type of proposition Faraday gave her. Faraday just came and talked to her about something, I'm guessing. And I don't even know what Faraday told her. Like maybe Faraday tricked her into, maybe Faraday said that, oh, I need her for a job. Maybe QE thought that's the case, and that is why she's hacked Lucy so that she can come back to the job or something. Maybe like that, Faraday tricked QE as well. So I cannot really say what actually happened, whether QE really is against us or it's like a misunderstanding, or she really sold Lucy off, betrayed her completely. So next episode will give us the answers for that. But yeah, like I said, this is Night City. You cannot trust anyone, and just because of that, even if Chibi betrayed Lucy, I cannot really fault her because that's what people do in Cyberpunk. This is the norm over here. But either way, let's see what happens next episode. So that was this episode number 8. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, and comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.